Good morning. In this, the 259th year of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, I welcome you to the graduation convocation marking the 118th year of the law school, the oldest component of Rutgers University Newark. The national anthem is presented by a very special quartet this year. 4 of our graduates, Catalina Gagliotti, Kenya Moncur-Whitaker, Rebecca Salazar, and Kevin Stowicki, will sing the national anthem together. Would you please all rise while the singers join me on stage?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Excellent. 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 Amazing. Thank you so much to our multi-talented law graduates today. Please take your seats. It is my pleasure now to introduce members of the platform party. Sitting nearest to my left, Jeffrey Robinson, Chancellor of Rutgers University Newark. David Yaman, our principal speaker. Professor Shawnee King, Vice Dean. Professor Carlos Ball, our faculty speaker. Brad Prestiano, our student speaker. Sarah Regina, Dean of Student Affairs. Zhao Sun, Alumni Association President and Class of 2011. To my right, Safanya Searcy, a member of the Board of Governors of the university. Professor Ronald Chen and Laura Cohen, our faculty hooders. And Professor Barbara, welcome. Welcome, esteemed faculty, staff, alumni, friends, families, and most importantly, welcome to the class of 2025. Today is your day, and we are all here to honor you. We recognize all of the hard work that it took to get here, all the study sessions, the late nights, the early mornings, the time spent practicing your oral argument in front of your spouse, your kids, your parents, your dog, basically anybody who would listen. Many of you are first-generation students or will be the first lawyer in your family. Many of you held down a job or raised kids while juggling the demands of law school. Getting through law school is an accomplishment in and of itself, But so many of you excelled in law school while also undertaking work, volunteer, and family obligations. You are an inspiration to all of us. The Newark Law graduates sitting here today have each played a role in shaping this extraordinary community. We have watched as you supported each other when class lectures seemed impenetrable, or when you lost a beloved friend and colleague in Raven Moore. Together, you have built a community that celebrates each other's successes and offers support when life and law school are brutal and challenging. You lift each other up. This is also your alumni community. These are the folks who you will lean on and who will lean on you throughout your career. These are not just professional contacts. They are lifelong friends. And you will always have a home here at Rutgers Law School. You are poised to enter the legal profession. You have learned from our talented faculty how to serve your clients with empathy, legal acumen, and an abiding commitment to professional ethics. But I know that you have learned so much more. An important part of being a lawyer is giving back to your community, whether through pro bono work, government service, or public interest law practice. We need look no further than Adenika Witter-Judge, one of our graduating students, who has an unwavering commitment to public service and provided countless hours of pro bono legal work to underserved communities at Essex, Newark Legal Services, and Volunteer Lawyers for Justice. Our graduates understand that you have the ability and the obligation to give back by providing free or low-cost legal services, to mentor the next generation of lawyers, and to provide leadership in your communities. And the world needs you now more than ever. Lawyers are leaders. Lawyers, ideally, uphold the rule of law. It was lawyers who drafted the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, Title VII, and the Equal Pay Act. It was lawyers who fought the hard-won battles in Brown versus Board of Education. The long arc of the moral universe does, in fact, bend toward justice, but we still have work to do, a lot of work to do. It was lawyers on our faculty, working with some of you as part of the New Jersey Innocence Project, who overturned the convictions of Dion Miller and Armand McLeod, both of whom were exonerated in the last 2 years after being wrongfully convicted and incarcerated for decades. It is lawyers like Jason Hernandez in the Rutgers Immigrant Community Assistance Project who are providing immigration-related assistance to many in our Rutgers community. And lawyers will fight the influential battles to come. You and your colleagues will define the limits and promise of artificial intelligence, ensure that new drugs receive patents and reach the hands of sick patients, determine the parameters of consumer protection, draft new global treaties to address climate change, and rethink how mass incarceration operates in our society. This is a tall order, but I know that each and every one of you is up to the task. To do all this, you will need empathy, humanity, and grace. James Baldwin said, and I quote, "It is a terrible and inexorable law that one cannot deny the humanity of another without diminishing one's own. In the face of one's victim, one sees oneself." You all have the wisdom, empathy, and courage to see yourselves in the humanity of others. May you carry that throughout your legal career. So, to the class of 2025, you did it. and we are so proud to welcome you into the incredible community of Rutgers Law School alumni. Please take a moment today to thank the people who supported you during your law school journey. No one walks this path alone, and we are all so grateful to you and to those who helped you along the way. Again, congratulations to the class of 2025. It is now my pleasure to ask Dean Sarah Regina to introduce this year's student speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, graduates. Good morning, families and parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and kids. Welcome. We share in your joy and in your pride. So, Brad, it's my pleasure to introduce him. Brad was elected by his classmates to address them this morning. He's a graduate of Bryant University in Rhode Island, and over the last 3 years, he has developed a keen interest and a love of, believe it or not, tax law. In a few months, he will begin a clerkship in the New Jersey Tax Court and will also begin an LLM program in taxation at NYU. So I met Brad early in his first year, and from the first interaction we had, I knew he was a young man of integrity, and he had a really kind heart. In my role as Dean of Students, I often help solve problems and address issues. And I don't ever recall Brad coming to me with a problem of his own. He'd come instead seeking assistance for a classmate, or seeking counsel for how he might play a role in fixing something broken within our community. Brad is someone who you want to be around. And he has been a phenomenally positive presence in our building over the last 3 years, building people up and bringing people together. He's the kind of person that I want my kids to be. I mean that, yeah. So you picked a good one, class. So, I'm truly thrilled and honored to invite him to the podium to address you today.
We did it. First and foremost, thank you family, friends, and loved ones for being here to celebrate our accomplishments. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you to the faculty and administration of Rutgers Law School for your dedication and guidance over the last 3 years. A special thanks to my mom and dad. 6.5 years ago, attending law school, much less graduating, was inconceivable. Thank you for your unwavering belief and support throughout it all. Class of 2025, congratulations. They say the journey is more important than the destination, but let me tell you, the destination feels pretty good. Today is a day of reflection and celebration. I believe we were the first full-time class after COVID. This posed challenges for campus life, as not many student organizations were up and running the prior 2 years. There were no upperclassmen to pass the torch. We had to light it ourselves. I know a number of you either started an organization or dusted off the bylaws and brought an organization back to life. Just to name a few: Street Law, American Constitutional Society, Criminal Law Society, and at least a dozen more. Our journey began together at orientation. I remember we were wearing masks in the classroom. We were told that our professional reputations began that day, and we were about to embark on an intellectually strenuous journey. I remember leaving orientation, what have I gotten myself into? Each of us can remember the feeling of utter relief when we were not cold called for a particular case and being impressed by whoever crushed it. We all had times when we walked out of class more confused than when we walked in. Do you remember reading about alternative contingent remainders? I mean, come on. But there was no better feeling than when it all started to click, even if it was days before the final. I think I could speak for all of us that some of our favorite memories were bonding during the lunch break and, of course, blowing off steam at McGovern's. Whether it was the Boozy Bee, trivia night, or bar review, McGovern's became a place where bonds were created and sometimes mistakes were made. Some of us made lifelong friends, some got engaged or married, and others found a significant other. Shout out Amanda. The Rutgers community is made up of people from all sorts of backgrounds and lived experiences. I remember waiting for the light rail with Sally, Adela, and Pia, and while we were talking, we learned that 3 out of 4 of us were born outside the United States and grew up in different cultural households. Getting to know my peers who have lived abroad, were born abroad, and from different parts of the United States has been an enriching experience. I found that our differences make us special and unique, but we have way more in common as humans. While we stayed up late to read, brief cases, and write Lars papers, some of us are parents. Life continued on the outside. Some of us are parents, work full-time, attended at night, and have other important obligations that pulled us from our books. Additionally, some of us experienced heartbreak and lost loved ones. We lost a classmate, Raven Moore. Raven was the first person I sat next to at orientation. During the icebreaker, we chatted about our journeys to law school. I admired Raven for always contributing to class and speaking her full to have gotten to know her, and she is greatly missed. The legal profession is a rewarding and fulfilling career. I know many of you are clerking at various levels of the court system, going to prestigious law firms, or entering the public sector, and will make incredible advocates. Practicing law can require long hours, demanding clients, high-stakes situations, and deadlines. I would be remiss not to mention this. The American Bar Association found that 1 in 5 attorneys struggle with alcohol or substance abuse, and 1 in 4 attorneys have a mild level of depression. It is okay to struggle. It is even more okay to seek help, and recovery is possible. Life is not linear, and neither is problem solving. As important as it is to be the best advocate and delivering winning results for your client, please remember what is truly important in life. That is the people who came here today to celebrate you and your accomplishments. They care more about your mental well-being and your presence at the dinner table than your billable hours or the winning of a particular case. Be a zealous advocate, but find a balance, and if necessary, ask for help. In closing, these last 3 years have been a proving ground. It has been a pleasure to get to know many of you, and I'm excited to see the extraordinary things you will accomplish in your careers. Congratulations to those who passed the bar in February, and good luck to the rest of us.
Thank you so much, Brad. Wise beyond your years, certainly. I want to take a moment to introduce someone who I neglected to introduce earlier, a very special leader in our community, and that is Provost Bonnie Vasey. Thank you, Bonnie, for being here today. I am proud to introduce my colleague, Professor Carlos Ball, as this year's faculty speaker, chosen by the graduating class. Professor Ball is a nationally recognized expert on LGBTQ rights, and constitutional law. He's the author and editor of 9 books. Some of his recent publications include Principles Matter, The Constitution, Progressives, and the Trump Era, The Queering of Corporate America, and First Amendment and LGBT Equality, A Contentious History. Professor Ball began teaching at Rutgers Law School in 2008 after teaching at the University of Illinois College of Law and Penn State Law School for a combined 13 years. He teaches classes on constitutional law, the First Amendment, and sexuality, gender identity, and the law. He received a BA from Tufts University, a JD from Columbia Law School, and an LLM from Cambridge University. After law school, he clerked on the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court and then worked as a criminal defense attorney for the Legal Aid Society in New York City. Professor Ball is a valued colleague and a dedicated educator. I am thankful for his many contributions at Rutgers Law School and not surprised at all that this year's graduates voted to honor him with the privilege of addressing them today. Professor Ball.
Good morning, Rutgers Law School class of 2025. That has such a nice ring to it, doesn't it? I am incredibly honored that you have chosen me to be your faculty graduation speaker today. I should tell you, however, that before we can hand out the diplomas this morning, we, the faculty, need to be absolutely sure that you have learned all of the legal doctrine that we have taught you over the last few years. So I am afraid that I have the awesome responsibility this morning of calling on one of you for one last time. It is very difficult for me to see a group of law students and not call on at least one of them. So I have the list here of the candidates. Let's see, is Clay Ward in the house? Okay, Clay. Are you ready? Okay. So as the dean mentioned, I teach constitutional law, so I'm going to ask you a con law question, Clay, to determine whether your class is ready to graduate. So, Clay, does the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution serve as an independent limitation on Congress's authority to legislate under Article 1 of that same Constitution? Okay, Clay, I'm gonna repeat your answer as I understood it because not everybody in this great hall might have heard it. I'm gonna use the microphone for that. So if I understood you correctly, you said yes, the 10th Amendment does serve as an independent limitation, but only when it comes to so-called non-generally applicable laws. That is, laws that regulate states as states and not as, for example, participants in interstate commerce. Is that your answer, Clay? Okay, Clay. So I think there are two things that are clear to me, Clay. The first thing is whoever taught you constitutional law is an absolute genius. And the second thing that's crystal clear to me is that the Rutgers Law School class of 2025 is absolutely ready to receive their diplomas this morning. All right. Okay. Well, so now that we have that out of the way, let me say on behalf of the faculty that all of us on this stage are very, very proud of each and every one of you. We join your family members and other loved ones today in acknowledging the unbelievable amount of work that you have put into your legal education over the last few years. You have all kept your eyes on the prize, so to speak, and today is your reward. You know, I recently became an empty nester as the second of my adult children left home a few months ago. So this idea of young people moving on with their lives has been on my mind a lot recently. And as I have coped with being an empty nester, I have realized that there are some interesting parallels between being a law professor on the one hand and being a parent on the other. When law students are first-year students, they're a little bit like young children. Children need their parents, and 1Ls need their law professors. First-year students require guidance and support, and like parents, we law professors are happy to provide it. And then comes the second year of law school, which I think is a little bit like young adolescents. 2Ls, like young adolescents, still need you for some things, but they also start to make their way in the world as they begin to learn to be independent and to get things done without your help. And so 2Ls don't need their law professors as much as 1Ls, and that's okay, that's normal. But then comes the final year of law school. 3Ls, I think, are a little bit like older adolescents, right? They are convinced that they don't really need you anymore. In fact, you're kind of lucky even if they talk to you on a regular basis. And although this state of affairs can be a little disconcerting for both parents and for law professors, this is really as the way it should be, because 3Ls, like older adolescents, are more self-sufficient and they go about finding their place in the world. And this is also normal and to be expected, and that is one of the things that we are celebrating today. And so we as a faculty, like your parents and other loved ones, feel a great deal of pride in sending you out into the world today. But if we're being completely honest with ourselves, we, the faculty, I think, also send you out with some trepidation about the state of the world, the state of the country, and the state of our democracy. Among other things, it seems that we as a society are having an increasingly difficult time interacting, dealing, and even speaking with those with whom we disagree. It is unfortunate that in our public discourse, vitriol and insults are more common, seem sometimes to be more common, than reasoned argument and reasoned disagreement. It is also deeply disturbing that the federal government on a daily basis is targeting the rule of law and basic constitutional rights to due process and free speech. I think part of what has happened is that, as the Pulitzer Prize-winning novelist Marilynne Robinson put it in an essay a few years ago, we have as a nation largely lost the constraints of moderation and reasonableness. As Robinson put it, democracy in its essence and genius is imaginative love for and identification with a community with which much of the time, and in many ways, one may be in profound disagreement with. You know, when I first started teaching law 30 years ago, it seemed that people were always making fun of lawyers, right? And that many lawyers' jokes revolved around this idea that we are little more than hired guns, right? Willing to argue anything on behalf of anybody, anywhere. Now, I don't think lawyers' jokes have by any means disappeared, but I don't think they have the same social resonance that they once did. And my hypothesis is that this is because the ways in which lawyers speak and go about their profession actually sounds pretty good these days when compared to much of our so-called political discourse. After all, lawyers are or should be constrained by logic, by reason, and by facts. Our profession is or should be a model for self-restraint in our current era, when there seem to be few, if any, restraints, and when engaging in reasoned and respectful discourse is somehow understood to be a sign of weakness. In my 30 years of law teaching, there has never been a greater divide between the nature and quality of political discourse on the one hand and the nature and quality of law school classroom discussions on the other. In constitutional law courses, for example, as you know, we routinely explore many of the same highly controversial issues that are part of wider political debates. Everything from abortion to immigration to affirmative action to transgender rights. But law professors and law students prove every day in this country that it is indeed possible to discuss and debate so-called hot-button issues in respectful and productive ways that avoid outrageous and unsupportable claims, as well as insults and ad hominem attacks. I think that your most important task, dare I say, your most important obligation going forward, will be to bring clear, dispassionate, and thoughtful reasoning and thinking and speaking on behalf of the clients whom you will represent or on behalf of the causes that you will advocate for. The reality, for better or for worse, is that nothing of importance in this country gets done without the help of attorneys. As a result, throughout your careers, you will have many opportunities to contribute to reasoned discourse, because you will be crucial contributors to the nuts and bolts of our society and of our democracy. If those of us on this stage have done our jobs well, we have helped to prepare you to be productive, responsible, and respectful members of the bar and of the broader society. I have had many of you in my classes, so I am confident that you, the Rutgers Law School class of 25, in your professional lives, and just as importantly, as private individuals participating in our society and our democracy, I am confident that you will choose reason over insults, generosity of intellect and spirit over narrow-mindedness and pettiness, and above all else, respect for all human beings, regardless of the color of their skin or their national origin or their immigration status or their political or religious views. This is how you comported yourselves in my classrooms, which is what made teaching you and, quite frankly, learning from you such a joy. And it is the way I am sure that you will comport yourselves after you leave the law school nest. I want to end by briefly elaborating on something that I just said, namely that I learned from you during your time at Rutgers Law School. The notion of teachers learning from their professors is something that I never understood or appreciated when I was a student. As a student, I always assumed that learning is like a one-way street, right? That knowledge flows only in one direction, right? From the professor or teacher to the students. But the reality is that teachers learn an amazing amount from students. And indeed, many of you over the last few years said something in class, wrote something in a paper or an exam, or mentioned something in casual conversation that helped me think about a judicial opinion or a point of legal doctrine, or a question of public policy that I thought I understood well enough. You helped me think about it in different and better ways. Learning from one's students is one of the things that makes being a teacher the best job in the world. What you taught me over the last few years not only has made me a better teacher, but it has also been a source of personal hope for a better tomorrow. And so at a difficult time for our society and our democracy, when there is much to worry about, you, the class of 2025, you give me hope. You gave me hope in the classroom, you gave me hope through your extracurricular activities, and you give me hope this morning with your enthusiasm and excitement on this wonderful day. For all of the hope that you have offered me at a time when hope is very much needed, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Be well. Thank you very much.
All right. Before I introduce our keynote speaker, and I'm going off script here, so bear with me, I want to ask you to join me in a round of applause for two people who worked very hard behind the scenes to make this day possible. They are members of the law school's student affairs staff, and that is Casey Fessler and Gina Davila. Thank you. Now, it is my distinct honor to welcome David Yaman as this year's commencement speaker. Mr. Yaman is currently a partner at Cresco Partners, a leadership development company, and a strategic advisor and coach with Barker Gilmore, LPP, a legal and compliance recruiting and advisory services firm. He works with leaders and teams to improve effectiveness as he coaches a wide range of business executives. After obtaining his law degree from Rutgers Law School, he started his legal career in US federal court and freed Frank. He then spent the next 22 years at PepsiCo, rising from an entry-level legal position to become the company's general counsel. Fulfilling his long-standing plan to have a second career, he stepped away from his legal career and joined Cresco Partners in June 2021 to focus on coaching and developing high-performance leaders and teams. Outside of work, he's committed to giving back to the community through volunteer and pro bono work. We are fortunate and very proud to have him as a valued member of our alumni community. David.
Thank you, Dean Bond. It's an honor to be up here as a proud graduate of Rutgers Law School. It's my 30th anniversary this year, so I'm with you guys. And super humbling knowing the quality of professors and administration that I had the benefit of learning from when I was here a long time ago. But it's super humbling to be up here on the stage with the faculty and the administration of this great school. It's not lost upon me that the past two speakers, Brad and Professor Ball, were both elected by you, and I was imposed upon you. So I'll beg for your forgiveness in advance. I believe one of the fundamental tools of success in your career and in your life is actually the discipline to be present in the moment. Super simple concept and really hard to do these days. I mean, technology in particular seduces us away from the moments in life that actually matter. Now, Professor Ball and I didn't coordinate our comments, but it was the perfect lead-in for me, because in the law school world, historically, or perhaps just 10 minutes ago, law professors would encourage the full attention, the presence of students through the impactful threat of random questions. The Socratic method. I remember failing miserably in a first-year contracts class when randomly called on to answer a relatively simple question that actually only required, as the professor was speaking that day, and in the moment I was called on, randomly called on, I paid the price. I sat there alone amid my 80 colleagues in that class. I struggled to think of the one-word answer. The professor even tried to help me with various prompts, but I couldn't come up with it. I was absolutely brain dead that day. The answer was so simple and so obvious that the professor gave up on me and proceeded to invite the entirety of the class in unison to shout out the answer, which I assure you 79 other voices were dying to do. And without missing a beat, the chorus of 79 other voices responded, to my embarrassment, warranties. It's right there, the one-word answer. You know, in that moment, graduates, I distinguished myself by failing to be present in the moment. It was an utter fail. I would suggest to you that as young professionals in today's era, you actually have the opportunity to distinguish yourselves by being present in the moment, because it's becoming a more rare commodity. Well, each of us got to this Performing Arts Center from different places today, some native to New Jersey, as we heard, some from other states or other countries. We all have different backgrounds. We're all on our own journeys. But this morning, we're all here together in one place, celebrating one of the defining moments of these graduates' lives. And whether you're a graduate or someone who loves them or cares about them, I think it's just important to pause, just appreciate where we are, take a moment to be present right here as we celebrate this moment with these graduates. I mean, this is a big moment. This is a meaningful moment, so let's all be fully present in it. Well, with a nod to the Socratic traditions, I have 2 questions for the graduates. First, by a quick show of hands, who here has ever used a tool? A hammer, a screwdriver, a saw, heck, a nail file? Give me something. Excellent. Keep that thought, I'll be back to that in a minute. Second, pop quiz. Maybe your last quiz ever in the history of your life. Could be the last time you're ever asked a quiz. How is a Rutgers law degree like a championship trophy in sports? Answer, it's forever. Once you have it, it's yours forever. The law degree that you get today, you've earned something that no one can ever take away from you. That's awesome. It doesn't matter, absolutely. Doesn't matter where you came from, and you know what? Doesn't matter what your grades were. Like a Super Bowl champion, whether you win by a point or 3 touchdowns, once you earn the trophy, your law degree is yours. It's yours to keep, and it's forever. Hang it on the wall, baby. Now, in 1992, I snuck into this institution off the waiting list. Okay, there, I said it. You know what? 3 years later, I still received my JD. And you know what? It was the same as everybody else's. It was great. It's great. Your JD's the same as everybody else's, too. It's the same as mine. I have no idea what you'll do with it. Who knows where it will take you, but it is yours to keep forever. And it's rare, it's really rare that you earn something that you'll have for the rest of your life. They don't give JDs around here. You have to earn it, and graduating from law school is a big deal, so I offer you my congratulations. It's a big deal. So we're in this moment, and we're at the end of your law school journey, and armed with your law degree, you now have to decide what to do with it. Some of you already know where you're headed, others may not. But as you embark on your legal careers and look to the future, I want to take you back for a minute to the start of your journey and ask the graduates, why did you choose to go to law school? Like, what vision of a lawyer motivated you to voluntarily go through the LSAT and the application process and 3 years of grueling hard work? What was your vision? I've heard a lot of responses to this question. Some people say, well, I'm really smart. I like to read and write. Other people say, my friends tell me I like to argue, so I thought I'd be a great litigator. Some people want to advocate for those that don't have a voice. Maybe you saw a movie and it just seemed cool to be a lawyer. It's not so cool, but it could be cool. Or like me, you have a really broad liberal arts degree, in my case, American Studies, and you were forced into the choice of either trying to play Jeopardy to earn money or going to law school. Whatever your motivation was back then, whatever your plan is now, I'd like to highlight that through your hard work, you have just obtained one of the greatest tools our society has to offer. You all told me a moment ago that you've used tools before, but I bet you've never possessed a tool with the force and the flexibility and the potential for impact that a law degree has. I mean, this is a real power tool that you've obtained. So whatever your motivation was to attend law school, whatever your vision was of being a lawyer, my invitation to you today is to think very intentionally on how you can take this powerful tool and use it. Not just to help yourselves and your families, but to help others. Now, I was raised in a home where helping others was a core value. My dad, at age 85, continues to be a career social worker. He's always sought out those people who live on the very margins of society, those that everybody else tries to ignore. He and my brother actually drove down from my hometown of Rochester, New York last night to help me and be present today. So thanks for being here, Dad. Brother Phil. My mom was a community volunteer on overdrive. I mean, if she chose to actually go into the work world, she would have been a CEO for sure. She got involved. I mean, like, involved. And as I applied to law school, my goal was to get a law degree and work in the public interest. Rutgers Law was the perfect place to do so with its clinics, its rich history, and it's also on the doorstep of 2 phenomenal legal markets in New York City and New Jersey. I mean, this place is a gem. That's even before I start talking about Camden and access to the Philadelphia legal market. This place is a gem, and you should be super proud to have a degree from this place. It's awesome. So I wanted to work in the public interest, but you know what? I got married after my first year of law school to my high school sweetheart. We're still married 32 years later. She's right over there. And as Professor Bond referenced before, I was actually one of those people who walked through graduation with a baby in my arms because we had our first of 4 children in my 3rd year of law school. That made me a little different than other 3rd years, to be honest with you, and it actually were in Hoboken, a bit more difficult, or requiring a little bit more explanation back at home. Sorry. But it also made going into the public interest more challenging financially. I don't know if you've noticed, but the New York City area is a bit expensive. So with some regret, I actually abandoned my plan to work in the public interest, and I went to work in an M&A firm in the city. And the work was interesting and complex and hard, and the work helped me to grow. It was an important time in my life. And at the firm, I was using that law degree. I was honing my power tool skills. But partnership wasn't my goal. We had had another kid at that point, and I wasn't present enough at home due to the number of hours at the firm. So in-house I went. I made a shift and went in-house at PepsiCo. And to do so, I made a lot of trade-offs. I took a massive pay cut, and I entered the company at the lowest possible level. My first title was ERISA attorney. That's not funny. For those that don't know, ERISA is the federal law that governs employee benefit plans, and some view it as a very boring area of law. I may disagree, but it is the type of law that few other attorneys want to do. So I had pretty good job security, but I couldn't help think 4 years out of law school that I had abandoned my original plan to work in the public interest, and I really had no idea of who I was or what I wanted to be. That's 4 years from where you are right now. But at PepsiCo, unlike at the firm, I was surrounded by non-lawyers. And I found myself at the receiving end of a lot of questions, each an opportunity to help someone solve a problem. I love that. I also worked for a company that supported pro bono work, and I dove in with 2 feet. My volunteer work nurtured my public interest heart, and it furthered my learning by exposing me to community strategy, community issues, nonprofit boards, financial statements. It was very much a learning experience. I worked super hard at PepsiCo. There were a lot of days that forced me to choose between staying late at work or doing some pro bono work or being home with my wife and ultimately the 4 kids. Those were tough years, but nothing worthwhile comes easy, not in your career, not in loving relationships, not in parenting. And in my toughest moments, I remembered something my aunt always said. She used to say that whenever you're feeling down or angry or negative, get out of yourself, get outside yourself, and go help someone else. It'll make you feel better. I was grateful for that advice. I turned to it often. Now, I'm Catholic, and along my journey, I also heard some great advice, life advice from a priest. And in the Catholic religion, there are 7 sacraments. One of those is the anointing of the sick. And in this sacrament, the priest goes out and visits those who are sick, often somebody that is very close to death, and anoints them or blesses them with sacred oils. And after anointing them, the priest would sit and talk to that individual. So as a result, this priest had spent time with thousands of people in their last moments of life. Oftentimes, the priest was the last person he or she spoke to. So from these thousands of conversations, this priest shared what he had learned. He said, when it's all said and done, when you've finished the race, when you're at the very end of life, there are really 2 things about life that matter most. He said, first, did you live a life full of love? Did you love others, and did you allow others to love you? And secondly, did you live a life of service to others? Did you help others? That's what matters most in the end. So somewhere along my journey, I learned that helping others helped me in my life, and it actually helped me in my career. I became anchored in my desire to help others. I was armed with this tool, my law degree, that enabled me to do so. And you know what happens when you help others and you do good work? They ask for more help. And as I helped more people, I grew. I had the opportunity to work on more complex projects. And in my 22 years at PepsiCo, I never worried about promotions or money or the next job. I focused on the task at hand, I was present in the moment, and I just tried to help the person that was in front of me. And as I progressed, I used the tool that was my law degree to gain experiences that gave me more tools in business and culture and people, all through working hard and helping others. Now, life is a journey with a lot of different phases. And 4 years ago, with the tools that I had picked up over a number of years, I put down my original tool, my law degree. I walked away from a perfectly good job to work 100% of my time on people. So with my best friend and college roommate now, I work in leadership development. I'm using different tools than my law degree, but my journey started here at this ceremony in 1995, when, like you, I earned my JD, a tool that no one can ever take away, and one that can allow you to do things you can't even imagine while you're sitting in the chairs at a commencement ceremony. So what will you do with this powerful tool you've earned today? How are you going to put it to use? You can go in a lot of different directions. The law is in every part of our society. It's in our justice systems and in business and government and education and healthcare and nonprofits. It's everywhere. A law degree is a super valuable tool in our society. And our society needs lawyers. But our society doesn't need lawyers who are out solely to help themselves. Certainly a legal career will help support you and your family, but our society needs lawyers who will help others. You now have this tool, and it's super versatile. You can do a lot with it. A law degree can be used as a sledgehammer to knock down unjust barriers. It can be used as a screwdriver to strengthen connections between organizations and people. It can be used as a saw to separate unhealthy relationships or break apart unlawful entities. Maybe you use it as a file to refine certain aspects of our society that need some reshaping. The analogies are endless. The key is for you to recognize the valuable tool that you've earned over the past 3 years. Have I mentioned you'll have it forever? And use it with awareness and purpose. So a huge thanks that I don't think I properly gave 30 years ago, but a huge thanks to the Rutgers Law faculty and the administration for helping these graduates embark on their legal careers. Graduates, congratulations again. Professor Bond said it a little bit. In life, it's quite easy to fail on your own. Failure typically is a very individual effort. I think I proved that in contracts class as a first-year law student. But no one ever succeeds without the help of others. Success is a collective effort. So be sure to thank the people who have helped you succeed and get to this moment, because this moment is a big moment. I know how much your life can be impacted by having a law degree, and as much as your own life will be impacted, my mind thinks of each of you, the members of the Rutgers Law School class of 2025, and I can't help think about all the people you have the potential and the opportunity, and I'd suggest the responsibility to help with the powerful tool that is a law degree. Thank you and best of luck.
All right. I am pleased now to call upon Professor Barbara Hoffman, who, on behalf of the Committee on Scholastic Standing and of the faculty as a whole, will announce the graduation prizes and awards.
Good morning. One of the proudest and most honored traditions of the legal profession is to provide pro bono service to those who otherwise are unable to access the legal system. So first, we recognize those students who at the outset of their legal careers have volunteered their time in legal-related activity, in addition to meeting their academic commitments at Rutgers Law School. Therefore, would each graduate who has completed at least 50 hours of pro bono service while a student at the law school, please stand to be recognized for your commitment to volunteerism and expanding access to justice for all. seated. So I'm pleased to announce the academic prizes and awards for the class of 2025, as determined by the Scholastic Standing Committee on behalf of and in consultation with the faculty of the law school. As each name is announced, I ask that the recipient rise briefly. The Justice Henry Ackerson Prize, donated by the late Justice Ackerson and continued by the Law School Alumni Association in recognition of his unique contribution to the school, is given to the most distinguished student in legal skills. This year's prize is awarded to Logan Bennett Knoll and Mariam Sayed. The Rutgers Law School Award for Excellence in Health Law, which is awarded to honor superior academic performance in health law, goes to Lauren Carney and Aparna Partankar. The Rutgers Law School Award for Excellence in Intellectual Property Law, which is awarded to honor superior academic performance in intellectual property, goes to Jing Kang. The Rutgers Law School Award for Excellence in Labor and Employment Law, awarded to the student demonstrating the highest achievement in labor and employment law, goes to Claudia Sanchez. The American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers Award to the student who's shown the most aptitude in family law is awarded to Camila Fernandez. The Intellectual Property Law Clinic Award, given to those who demonstrated the greatest proficiency in the clinical practice of intellectual property law, is awarded to two students, Caroline Kim and Jing Kang. Established by our late beloved colleagues, Professor Frank Askin and his partner and longtime adjunct lecturer, Marilyn Askin, the Frank and Marilyn Askin Award for Excellence in Clinical Studies is awarded by the law school clinical faculty to the student who, over the course of their legal education, has demonstrated an extraordinary commitment to the client of the law school clinics and to the principles and values of clinical legal education. This year's prize goes to Zachary Orchard. Created in memory of our beloved late colleague, Professor Alan Axelrod Prize is given to the student who most excelled in commercial law. This year's prize goes to two students, Joseph Grushko and Caroline Kim. The American Bankruptcy Institute Medal of Excellence, awarded to the student who most excelled in bankruptcy studies, goes to Han Hyung Yu. Established to honor our beloved late colleague, the Professor Charles Davenport Prize in Tax Law is awarded to the member of the graduating class having the best grades and highest academic achievement in tax law. This year's prize is awarded to Brad Prestiano. The Morris Gann Prize in Evidence, recognizing the students with the best grades and highest achievement in evidence, goes to Caroline Kim. The Judge Leonard Garth Advocacy Award, created by his law clerks to honor the late United States Circuit Judge and mentor to generations of lawyers, goes to the student who most excels in appellate advocacy. This year's prize is awarded to two students, Joseph Grushko and Delaney Hellman Wilker. The Myron Harkavy Prize, awarded each year to the member of the graduating class who shows the most promise as trial lawyer, goes to two students, Michaela Laster and Christina Little. The Chief Justice Richard Hughes Prize, honoring the late Governor and Chief Justice, is offered to the member of the graduating class having the best record in New Jersey practice. This year's prize is awarded to Maxwell Johnson. The Professor Eli Jarmel Memorial Prize, offered to the member of the graduating class who's demonstrated the greatest interest and proficiency in public interest law, goes to George Knight Pond. The Menlowitz Family Fund Prize for outstanding and distinguished work in law and humanities is awarded to Eric Guerra. The G.A. Moore Prize, awarded to the student who's done distinguished work in employment opportunity law, goes to Logan Bennett Knoll. The National Association of Women's Lawyers Award is given to a student who's demonstrated the greatest commitment to women's issues. This year's prize is awarded to Camila Fernandez. The Carol Russ Memorial Prize, which recognizes members of the graduating class who've done the most for the promotion of women's rights through the law, goes to Kaylin Kibbe. The Sarah Ramara Charatar Memorial Award is given to the law student for excellence in work on behalf of the underprivileged, particularly women, children, and families. This year's prize is awarded to Cathrine DeFreitas. The student with the highest grades in courses in property and related topics receives the H. Theodore Sorg Property Prize. This year's prize goes to Jason Nissenblatt. The Kenneth Wolfson Prize, awarded to the student who excelled in coursework and land use, goes to Luisa Nin Reyes. The Outstanding Clinical Award is presented by the Clinical Legal Education Association to a member of the graduating class based on the high quality of representation provided to clients. This year's award, recognizing remarkable work in the Criminal and Youth Justice Clinic, is given to two students, Kevin Stawicki and Clay Ward. The Rutgers Law School Faculty Scholarship and Leadership Award, recognizing the student who has demonstrated excellence in a combination of scholarship and leadership, goes to two students, Sally Abdurayov and Megan Payne. Rutgers Law School in Newark has established several awards for outstanding scholarly work in different legal fields. The Rutgers Outstanding Scholastic Achievement Award for Best Student Note, Comment, or Scholarly Paper goes to Martin Min. The Outstanding Scholastic Achievement Award for Best Award for Criminal Law goes to Peter Agress. The Scholastic Achievement Award for Corporate Law goes to Pearl Desir. The Scholastic Achievement Award for Legal Writing and Research goes to Marissa Carvelli. The Scholastic Achievement Award for Family Law goes to Luisa Nin Reyes. And the Scholastic Achievement Award for Constitutional Law goes to Clay Ward. Engelbrecht Prize, awarded to the student who has earned the highest scholastic average during the final year in law school, goes to Kevin Stawicki. The Philip Kravitz Memorial Prize is awarded to the part-time student who attained the highest academic average. This year's Kravitz Prize goes to Jason Nissenblatt. Two awards, the Saul Tischler Memorial Prize and the A. Harry Moore Prize, given to the student who has attained the highest academic average during the entire course of legal study, goes to Delaney Hellman Wilker. The J. Skelly Wright Prize is given to the student who's contributed the most throughout law school to the civil rights, liberties, and human affairs of others. This year's prize goes to Anusha Das. And finally, the Alumni Senior Prize is bestowed upon graduating student exhibiting the greatest achievement during the entire law school program and showing the greatest promise as a future member of the legal profession. This year's prize goes to Delaney Hellman Wilker. Please join us in congratulating all the awards and prize recipients. And finally, as the graduates receive their degrees today, some will be announced as having earned their degrees cum laude, representing the top 20% of the class, magna cum laude, the top 10%, or summa cum laude, the top 3%. Students in the top 10% will also be recognized as being inducted into the Order of the Coif, which is an honorary scholastic society that encourages excellence in the legal education by fostering a spirit of careful study, by recognizing those who as law students attained a high grade of scholarship, and by honoring those who as lawyers, judges, and teachers attained high distinction for their scholarly or professional accomplishments. And only 87 American law schools have been granted Order of the Coif chapters. Rutgers Law was the first New Jersey law school to be so honored. So congratulations. Congratulations to all the members of the class of 2025 for earning your law degree, and especially to those recognized with such impressive honors.
The class of 2025 lost one of its classmates last year. Before our graduates cross the stage today, we wanted to take a moment to recognize Raven Moore and the impact she had on all of us. Raven was a strong and curious student. She would have made an excellent lawyer. Raven was full of positive energy. She was bright and fun and unapologetic. Raven could challenge you and become your best friend in the same moment. I know she's with us today, celebrating with all of you. I would like to invite Raven's sister, Amy Moore, to accept this honorary degree. Now, will the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor please rise? Faculty of Law and the other members of the Platform Party please rise? Upon the recommendation of the Faculty of Law and by virtue of the authority of the boards of governors and trustees of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, I confer upon each of you the degree of Juris Doctor and declare you worthy of all the rights, privileges, and special obligations here and elsewhere appertaining thereto. Congratulations. Please be seated. And now, graduates will be presented on behalf of the faculty by Vice Dean King. Assisting in the conferral of diplomas today is Dean Rubin. Professors Ronald Chen and Laura Cohen will bestow the hood of the Juris Doctor degree upon the graduates. And I ask Dean Regina to stand and join me in congratulating the graduates. We also have a special place in this ceremony for our special hooders. We're delighted to have with us today certain alumni or members of the faculty with a special connection to a particular graduate who will be hooding these graduates. Would all of the special hooders from the audience please come on stage and take a place to my left? Those special hooders who are already on stage can take their place stage left just before the graduate ascends the stage. Thank you. Ms. Davila, would you please escort the graduates to the platform to receive their degrees?
Frishta Abdul Wali. Sally Abdulrayoff. Peter Agress. Peter's graduating magna cum laude in Order of the Coif. Nadia Alkunezi. Jacqueline Melanie Alcantara. David Alexander. Francis H. Alexander. Kai Allen. Evan H. Alter. Daniel Peter Altamari. Devin Amin. John Thomas Andrews. Vincent Apicella. Joquel Arias. Stuart Backer. Joseph Michael Buttermy. Amanda Carey Baker. Mia Lauren Banks. Craig A. Barbero. Adela Barbara. Adela's graduating cum laude. Candace Bebo. Thomas Victor Bernice. Thomas is graduating cum laude. William George Blasland. Julia Christine Bond. Anthony Brito. Lily Marie Brown. Lily's graduating cum laude. Ryan William Bungie. Ashley Burns. Alexander Calabro. Cathrine Kalia Schroep. Chase Cantatori. Marissa Aniela Carvelli. Daniel Carver. Megan Chase. Matthew Kyoto. Matthew's graduating cum laude. Youngchae Cho. Sorim Choi. Sorim's graduating magna cum laude in Order of the Coif. Audrey Amar. Jacob Andrew Collins. Janine Michelle Cook. Vincent Michael Coughlin. Amanda Rose Craven. Ian Cullen. Alicia Damiano. Noor Damiani. Gianna Dano. Gianna's graduating magna cum laude and Order of the Coif. Anusha Das. Cathrine DeFreitas. Nolan Dees. Julianne Del Campo. Prakruti Deshikar. Pearl Deser. Simran Dillon. Sivani Divakarla. Julian Donadeo. Mary Anna Helen Donovan. Kushbu Dorawala. Emily Drennan. Colin Drill. David Calvin Du Bois V. Jessica Dufault. Cindy Escobar Rojas. Zach Evans. Angelina Farallo. Alexander Ferris. Brandon Federici. Brandon's graduating magna cum laude and Order of the Coif.
Good job.
Camila Fernandez. Camila's graduating cum laude. Zachary Paul Feeney. Ryan Fisher. Hoi Fong. Francisco Ferraro. Catalina Gagliotti. Catalina's graduating cum laude. Liam Galloway. Nicole Giglione. Christopher Gittleman. Christopher's graduating cum laude. Justin Garlisi. Michael Anthony Gonzalez. Joseph Grusko. Joseph's graduating cum laude. Eric Raul Guerra. Farbud Hadizadeh Mogadam. Alia Hafez. Samantha Hakia. Samantha's graduating magna cum laude in Order of the Coif. Thomas Hartigan. Adam Haiba. Delaney Hellman Wilker. Delaney's graduating summa cum laude in Order of the Coif. Bianca I. Hernandez. Oh, Fernanda Iris Hernandez.
Bianca Iris Hernandez.
Mia Alexandra Hernandez. Adebisi Ibitoye. Victoria Faith Adeleo Isaiah. Samuel Jacobs. Hani Jawabra. Joseph Douglas Johnson. Julissa Juarez. Alyssa Kajian. Isabel Kapoyan. Makoto Whitney Cato. Alec Michael Kaufman. Lauren Catherine Carney. Lauren's graduating cum laude. Edward Keast. Fiona Keith. Fiona's graduating magna cum laude in Odor the Coif. Isam Khan. Caroline Kim. Caroline's graduating cum laude. Max Kim. Stanford Sung-Ho Kim. Nicholas Kozan. Jing Kong. Jing is graduating cum laude. Madeline Marie Kopp. Michael Gabriel Kasowski. Pincus Crew. Michaela Janae Laster. Michaela is graduating magna cum laude in Order of the Coif. Isaiah Lowries. Ian Chandler Lowry. Parker Lewin. Stephen Lynn II. Caroline Grace Lindholm. Christina Little. Samuel Little. Samuel's graduating magna cum laude in Order of the Coif. Belinda May Lulu. Jonathan Jinghen Lu. Harsh Dinesh Mahajan. Sadia Malik. Daniel Patrick Malone. Michelle Mason. Noradine Matroud. Sarah Elizabeth McCaffrey. Caitlin Grace McDonald. Gina McGinnis. Thomas Andrew McGowan. Thomas is graduating magna cum laude and Order of the Coif. Adam Alexander McLean. Peter McMahon. Jacob Lawrence Midas. Jeffrey Patrick Midos. Jeffrey's graduating summa cum laude and Order of the Coif. Martin Min. Kenya Monker Whitaker. Christopher Mullen. Christopher's graduating summa cum laude and Order of the Coif. Matthew James Murdoch. Sheena Elaine Murdoch. Trina Murray. Camille Nianatowski. Luisa Annette Ninreyes. Luisa's graduating summa cum laude and Order of the Coif. Jason Nissenblatt. Jason's graduating summa cum laude and Order of the Coif. James Nolan. Logan Shayna Bennett Knoll. Augustine O. Wabuzer. Rabia Afsa Oksus. Zachary Orchard. Zachary's graduating cum laude. Megan Payne. Megan's graduating cum laude. Eric Parr. Eric's graduating cum laude. Aparna Patunker. Maya Patel. Carmine Pelosi. Brianna Lynn Perez. Dylan Perry. Moira Ann Fan. Marvin Ponce. George Knight Pond III. Abel Portela. Brad Prestiano. Brad's graduating cum laude. Kendall Price. Shakira Ramirez. Parker Ramsey. Congratulations. Sean Michael Regan. Sean's graduating magna cum laude in Order of the Coif. Ethan Dylan Ricebaum. Justin Allen Riley. Michael Philip Rizzo. John William Robinson. John's graduating cum laude. Brianna Rojas. Adriana Xiaoshan Ruiz. Rebecca Dalila Salazar. Dylan Samo. Dylan's graduating magna cum laude in order of the Crave. Claudia Estefania Sanchez. Claudia is graduating magna cum laude in order of the Coif. Andrew John Schoonover. Juliana Rose Schofield. Justin Miles Seaman. Hannah Shepard. Hannah's graduating magna cum laude in order of the Coif. Jake Michael Simon. Amber Soffer. Chloe Saint Etienne. Kevin Stewicki. R. Edward Stone III. Alexander Joseph Strazillo. Alexander's graduating summa cum laude in order of the Coif. Miriam Sayed. Danielle Marie Tabatnik. Lihua Tang. Patrick Timney. Nicola Talma. Joanne Turney. Priya Veshampayan. Gianna Valenti. Pablo Velastegui. Clay Ward. Clay's graduating cum laude. Hannah Elise Rogula. Katie Frances Warren. Katie's graduating magna cum laude and Order of the Coit. Patrick Waiters. Patrick's graduating magna cum laude and Order of the Coit. Christopher Robert Worthmiller. Patrick Whalen. Adenika Witter Judge. Sylvia Wan. James Wright. Hyun Kyung Yu. Shamnez Zaman. Saturday Zamet.
I would now like to invite Zhao Sun, Rutgers Law Class of 2011 and President of the Rutgers Law School Alumni Association, Newark, to come up to the podium and say a few words now that the members of the class of 2025 have joined the alumni ranks.
All right. Hello, graduates, family, and friends. Congratulations, you all did it. So going last, I will try to do as I do in my best oral arguments, keep this pithy. It's an honor to stand before you today, not just as the president of the Rutgers School of Law Newark Alumni Association and my future constituents, but also as someone who once sat where you are now, filled with pride, excitement, possibly a little uncertainty about what comes next. Take it from me, a first-generation immigrant and the first attorney in my family, you are ready. And a large part of that is because of this community, the Rutgers Law community. For me, Rutgers has given so much. It gave me the foundation for my career, a community of brilliant and passionate peers, and it's also where I met my wife. You know, we've been married 10 years, and each time she nebulously asked me that I do what she asked me to do, it's like I'm back in 1L getting cold called, just deer in headlights right here, you know? But my point is that being a Rutgers Law graduate is something that will always remain a part of your life. Today, you join a powerful network of diverse alumni who are judges, advocates, entrepreneurs, public servants, and change makers. I want you to think about that for a moment. And as Justice Sonia Sotomayor once said, the dynamism of the legal community lies in its diversity of thought, its commitment to justice, and its willingness to serve. You are now part of that dynamism, which is why I implore you to stay involved. And here's my plug, all right? The law school needs you, and you have so much to offer. Come back to mentor students, attend events, share your journey, your voice, your experience, because your presence matters. This law school is no ordinary law school. It is the people's electric law school. The values we hold dear are more important than ever. And Rutgers Law is stronger when the alumni are engaged. And, as your classmate Brad so rightly pointed out, we're also here to help lift you up if you need it. As you step into this next chapter, know that your connection with Rutgers doesn't end here. It evolves. And we, your alumni community, are here to support you every step of the way. Congratulations, class of 2025. We can't wait to see what you do next, and we'll hope you keep Rutgers close to your heart. Good luck.
It is now our tradition to administer to these new law graduates the oath of professionalism. I also invite any member of the bar present in the audience to rise and recite the oath along with our new colleagues as a reaffirmation of our commitment to maintaining the honor of our profession. Will the graduates please rise and repeat after me? In accepting the honor and responsibility of life in the profession of law. I will strive as best I can to conduct myself with dignity, courtesy and integrity, to treat all persons with fairness, civility, respect, and honesty, to work always with care, with a whole heart and in good faith, to promote inclusiveness in and equal access to the judicial system, bar associations, and the legal field, and to serve, protect, and promote the fair and impartial administration of justice. You may be seated. This concludes our convocation ceremony. Congratulations to the members of the class of 2025. During the recessional, may I ask all members of the audience to remain in their seats until the platform party and the graduates have left the hall. Also, please accept our invitation to join us for a reception back at the law school where we can continue celebrating our graduates and their achievements. Dean King, will you please lead the recessional?
Thank you.